Ramadan.
Oh my god, who the hell cares?
Tis that time of the year again. Since you're watching, I assume you already know what it is. But on the off chance someone doesn't, and depending on watch time, let me explain. Ramadan is a month in the Arabic calendar in which Muslims fast. For 30 days they are not allowed to eat or drink from dawn till sunset, and also not allowed to commit any sins like smoking, swearing, fapping, etc. Once the fast ends, you can do whatever you want though. Before dawn, they get up to eat and drink in what is known as suhoor. And when the dawn prayer, aka Fajr, is called, the fast begins. At sundown, when the sunset prayer, aka Maghrib, is called, the fast is over and it's breakfast time. In case you're wondering, yes, it is solely tied to the sun. Which means if you live anywhere outside the equator's general area, your Ramadan will either be on easy mode or hardcore, depending on whether it's winter or summer. And yes, Ramadan can be in either winter or summer. You see, the Arabic calendar is not synced to the seasons like the Gregorian one, so it comes at different times each year, which they know by observing the crescent moon, because the calendar is lunar based. Almost as if the rules were made by someone near the equator who did not consider or even know the day-night gaps get wider the further you are from the equator. Bros in Iceland, for example, now I don't know if there are even any Muslims there. I would imagine that they don't, because one is impossible and the other is technically cheating, but frankly I can't be asked to look that up, so if you really care, do it yourself. And if you already know, feel free to share. There are some conditions in which you are allowed to not fast during Ramadan, some of which is traveling, working a job that needs intense focus like a driver, a job that has you exposed to heat like a baker for example, being sick, having your period, being too young or too old to do it. Now that you know what it is, let me tell you about the general experience living through it. It sucks. Egypt is basically on pause for 30 days every year. Think about it. If you were not allowed to drink or eat, but had to go to work in a hot-ass country, no less, how productive would you want to be? How productive can you even be? If you say anything other than not very productive, you're capping. In addition, opening hours for many businesses and firms change, typically being shorter. Another issue I have is that you can't eat or drink in public, even if you're not participating, and even if you're not Muslim altogether, with the exception being foreigners, because Egyptians prefer to bully their own. If you do drink or eat in public, you generally should be okay, save for the intense glares and scoffs you'll be collecting, of which there's gonna be plenty from experience. And then there are the fucking little cunts with the firecrackers. Every night you have children blasting firecrackers in the streets, which are very fucking loud and startling.
Are your loud neighbors keeping you up at night? Well, just fucking kill them!
And the little fuckers even throw it at people sometimes for entertainment. And of course, the only way to get those shit-stained parents is to hurt one of them or scare them somehow. Though good luck with that, they are absolute gremlins and there's always many of them, so usually you just end up having to suck it up. Maybe just cuss them out. If you do hurt one though, only then their parents might step in. But to discipline their overgrown cum? Nope. Here, we fuck, make babies, and then it's no longer our problem. Another thing I have issue with is the prayers. Now, look, I don't have any problem with anyone practicing any sort of rituals or prayers regardless of what I think about it. I'm a die-hard believer in freedom. What I don't like is how fucking loud it is. Every night, roughly an hour after breakfast, you have all the mosques blasting the special Ramadan prayer, Taraweeh, which ranges widely in length too, and you're free to do the minimum, max, or anywhere in between. The more the better, obviously, and after that, some mosques give little lessons to kids, which they feel the need to broadcast to people outside as well through loudspeakers. By the time all of this is done, it's well past 11 p.m. sometimes, but since it's Ramadan, that's fine because everyone is assumed to be up late anyway, with suhoor being at 3 or 4 a.m. If you're not Muslim or have work, school, or college early the next day, well, too bad then. All these issues are exclusive to retarded countries, by the way, where there is no civil law. The Muslims being the majority here, they're allowed to be as obnoxious as they want and you can't do shit about it. But as far as I know, in civilized countries, none of this shit happens and Muslims can get away with slacking off at work with the excuse of fasting or being this loud and intrusive. You know, third world things. I did used to like Ramadan though as a kid. Aside from the religious side I had then, it felt festive and shit, and it had a nice sense of community. That is no longer the case though. I don't know if it's me growing up, me giving up the belief, or if it actually has become bleak, like everything else around here. But it doesn't feel festive anymore, and from what I can tell, others feel the same way. Even ones who do participate in it and believe. I still do like the feast though, aka Eid that comes after it. That still feels nice-ish. Definitely better than the other Eid. And the sweets they make for it are straight fire. So, verdict. Ramadan in general is an N. Does that stand for It stands for neutral. I don't care what you believe in or practice as long as you keep it to yourself. Which is why Ramadan in Egypt specifically is a gigantic fat L. Everything's on pause, everyone's grouchy during the day, there is noise constantly, even more than a normal level for Egypt. The motherfucking little assholes with firecrackers
would just fucking kill them!
God, I despise Egyptian children. P.S. If you're watching as a Muslim, no offense to you, I literally rewrote the script to be more respectful, and I'm pretty sure you share some of the gripes I listed. At the very least, the shit hit kids. So how about we focus on bonding over what we share instead of fighting over what we don't? So, remember the Walmart Patreon I made on Buy Me a Coffee? Well, I finally have a member there. Here is to Leslie, the very first of many more, hopefully, members to come. By signing up, you get access to a little bit of extra content, your name on the outro, and a few other little perks. Hope to see you all there. Cheers, homies.